Good day, everyone. The objective of this video is to discuss the basic logical connectives and or not, and also give my personal comments and thoughts. First, let's learn about and. Okay, so if you are familiar with the symbols, so let's say A and B. A and B is my input, and I have there here this one, and this is my output. Okay, so in A and B is my input, and Q is my output. Okay, so it's very effective to use the truth table to interpret or to understand the function of these logical connectives. Okay, so let's make a table. So we have a table for A, B, and Q. Okay, so A is my input, B is my input, and Q is my output. So input, and this one is the output. Okay, so it's easy, just three. Okay, so let's make this one 0, 0, 1, 1, and 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, so for an AND logical operator or logical connective, so for if you give an input that is, so 0 means false, okay, and 1 is true. Okay, so or in circuits, we call this false is off, that's why it's 0, and 1 is on. But let's stick to this one. Okay, so if A is false and B is false, your output, if you are using the AND logical operator, will be 0. If your input, A input is 0 and B input is 1, still the output is 0. If the input A is 1 and B output is 0, still 0. And you will only get the output that is 1 if both A and B are also 1 or true. If both A and B are true, that's the time you will only get the output that is true. Okay? So an example of this is, let's say, um, example A is assignments, and this one is exam. Okay? So if you pass the exam, if you pass the exam assignments and also pass the exam, that's the time you will only pass the course. Okay? If you don't, if one of them, if one of the two input is missing, or if one of the two input is false, then you will not pass the course. Okay, you will only get the output 1 if both two inputs are true. That's it. Okay, don't worry, because we will have more uh, analysis of truth table in the future, so we will learn more about this. Next is Let's now um, learn about the OR. Okay. What about the OR logical operator? So for the OR logical operator, this is two inputs. Okay. A, B, and this is Q. Okay. Again, very important to know how to write the truth table where you have the input and this is the output. Okay, so this is A, B, and Q. So 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So why is this like this? So in order, this is all the combinations. No? For if you have two inputs, you can get all the combinations of this. Yeah, anyway, we will talk about that later. So if A and B are both 0 or false, let's make this one. Yeah. So if both A and B are false, or 0, so it is false. But if either one, either of the, either A or B is true, so either or, so means to say, uh, if one input is true, then it means the output, no matter the another input is true or false, will be true. So if this is, if A is 0 and B is 1, you get the output 1. If A is 1 and B is 0, you still get the output 1. And both of them are 1, and then you get the output 1. Okay? So it means to say the output will be true if only one of the input is true. No matter the other output, no matter what condition is the other input is either true or false, no, doesn't care. If you have only one input that is true, then your output will always be true. Okay? And if both of them are true, and so the output is true also. Okay? So that's it. That's OR. Okay, so it's very important to learn about this because this is the very basic. We will rely on that on the following discussion. Okay, so you have to remember those things. Let's continue. Now for the not. Not is just like the opposite. Okay, so example is A, and then with a triangle, and then Q. This is your input again, and this is your output. Okay, since you have only one input, you only have two conditions, input and out. Q. Okay, so only 0 or 1. So if your input is 0, okay, your output is 1. If the input is 1, the output is 0. Or you can think about it of this is if your input is false, then this becomes true. If the input is true, then the output becomes false. Okay, simple. So I hope that is makes sense. And let's go to Tau and learn about and or not. Um, okay, so let's start. So we have here variables. When you say variables, they are the placeholder. They are the x, y, z, or they hold the value. Okay, so we can say x. Now, I haven't explained it yet. So the symbols will be, if you say, if you want the and symbol, and operator, the symbol is and sign. Okay. If you want an or operator, the symbol is the pipe. And if you want the not operator, the symbol is prime. Okay. So I hope that's clear. Let's begin. So x, um, and let's say let's start with and first. And y. Okay. X and y. So for example, um, x, let's say end function. End function, you use this one. Okay. So in Tao language, this one is the name. That's what I. Uh, anyway, so this is learning by doing. So you have to really also just try to type it down. So x and y. Okay. So let's see. Oops. Okay, I forgot something. Okay. Anyway, I'm not perfect, so it's also okay. So we cannot do this one. We have to write down and let's say function. Then we have to declare the variables here. So our variables is x and comma y. Okay, that's why it didn't work. And then like this, and then x and y. Okay. Oops, still didn't work. What's the problem? Um, let's try remove the underline. Okay, still not. Oh, I forgot. This should not be a the dash. It should be an equal sign. Okay. Yes. So let's recall. So here, this should be not the dash, but the equal sign. Okay. Now, let's try to let's clear it first, and then up sign, and this one. Okay. So we have the and function. Let's make it more clear and underline under function and x comma y equals x and y. Okay, that's better. Okay, let's see again. Okay. So this is the function end. Okay. So we want to put some variables to it to really test, uh, to really understand the function of end. So let's see. So what how to do is you put the n. Don't worry about the normalization. We will talk about it in the future coming videos. This is more deeper subject. So just do this one first. So end function and then x and y. But instead of x and y, let's try to provide the value for x and y. So let's say, so for example 0 and 0. Okay, but before that, let's recall our function in the truth table. So here, our function is um, there is x. We have input, right? And then we have output. Okay. For our for our input, we have x and we also have y, right? And then the output is this function, and function. Okay. And we need to have 0, 0, 0, 1. I sorry. Uh, 0, 0, 1, 1. Let's put this. And 0, 1. Oh, 0, 1. Okay. So, as we learned last time, a while ago, that the when you use the AND function, okay, um, both the input x and y should be 1 in order for the output to be 1, or both the input condition should be true in order for this output to be true, okay, or else it will be false. So let's see. So here, this is the ano, this is what we learned. Okay. So right now, I put the variable um, value of x becomes a 0, this one, and y 0, this one. So we expect a function which is 0 or which is false. Okay, let's see. Um, let's execute this. Okay, it's 0. Correct. Now let's go on to another one. So let's say if x is 0 and y is 1, again, it's 0. We're still correct. Next, what about if 1 and 0? 1 and 0. Still, the output is 0 or false. And we know that the function end will only be true if both x and y are true. True. So this. So this is only shows that we know that this end function is what happened here. Okay. So we expect that to happen. Okay. I hope it's clear. Let's now go on to um will erase. No, this one only. Okay, now let's go to the function or. Let's type in or function, or underline underscore function, and then I'll also maybe x and y also. Okay, and equals to x or y. Okay, we have it. Let's clear it out first and let's type it again. Yes, now we will normalize it. Okay, and provide the value. Okay, so here, as we learned, let's recall first. We learned a while ago that the OR will input. The OR operator will the output of the OR operator will be true if only either one of the input is true. So here, this is OR operator, OR function. Okay, so 0 0 is false, false is false. False true is true or 1. Okay. 1 0 is still 1 or true. And 1 1 is 1 or true. This is false. Okay. So let's see. Let's witness. So instead of x or y and y, we try 0 0. So this is x 0, y 0. So we expect the output of this is 0. Correct. Okay. Next is 0 and 1. So we expect the output to be 1. Good. and this one is 1 and 0. We expect the output to be 1. This 1. And last is 1, 1. We expect the output to be 1. 1. Okay. So that shows that this is the OR operator. So I hope it's clear. Now let's go on to the function negation, or the not function, the easy one. Okay, so for the easy one, still have to do that. Okay, so not function. So for the not function, we only need one variable, so that is x, and then recall that the symbol that to be used for not is prime. Oops, I forgot the equal sign. Okay, so clear. Let's go again. Okay, and now let's go to normalize and provide the, but before that, let's go and again recall our truth table. So here we have input, and we also have output. For our input, we have here x. Output is the not function. Okay, that's it. And we have only two possibilities, either 0 or 1. Okay, so if you recall a while ago, we learned that the not function is just the opposite. Okay, so if this is 0, is this will be true. If the input is 0 or false, the output should be true or 1. If the input is 1, the output is 0 or false. Okay, so let's see. It's just the opposite. Okay, so now instead of x, let's try x is equals to 0. So instead of x, I use 0 as the yeah. So it's 1, correct. And we expect that if this is 1, the input is 1, and using the not operator, the output would be 0 or false. Let's see. Yes, correct. So that's one way of learning the Tao language REPL. It's really there's so much more that we can do. So it makes us easy to learn and to analyze and evaluate logical expressions using Tao language REPL. Okay, we will learn more about this. I'll cut it short, but I hope everything is clear. We learned about the and, or, and not function. And also we gave some examples. And also we learned how to perform it using the Tao language syntax. And also to replace those placeholders, the variables, with the values ones and zeros. For more questions or clarifications, you can just write your comments or post your questions on the Tao Telegram group. Thank you so much, and see you on the next courses. Thank you. Bye.